When it comes to day trading a small account, it's actually a really great exercise because if you can grow a small account, you can grow a large account. And if you're just starting trading, you should never hop in and start trading with your entire amount that you have available to trade. You should only start with a very small amount, 500 bucks, because chances are when it comes to trading your first account, you're going to blow it up as a learning experience. If you are just trading, my recommendation, you should be paper trading at least for a month, because you're practicing even just executing those trades. Like there'll be times whenever you're learning to trade for the first time when you intend to go short, but you accidentally enter the trade long just because you're just learning how to use the applications, you're learning how to trade for the first time. But if you can learn to trade with a small account, you will be successful with a larger account. It's much harder to grow a small account. And the reason for that is you have to be very accurate. So let's talk about how you can trade a small account, grow that small account, and make it easier. And the key thing with growing that small account is making sure you're taking your profits, getting in and out of trades, and then being honest with yourself if that trade doesn't go your way. So I'm going to go over a few examples where growing a small account becomes very easy if you're letting your winners ride. There was a couple days in a row on the SPY when if you just kept your winners for that day, you would have had an awesome, awesome day, and you really would have been able to grow your account massively. So let's just take a look at this day here on the SPY, which was Tuesday, April 14th. So you can see this pre-market level here, and I'm going to keep the chart really simple for you to see. So here's this pre-market level. The market opens up, and it comes up, and it blows through this pre-market level here, blows through it. So what was resistance now becomes support. And it blows through here, and you could have caught this trade as it retests this level quick, and you could have come up. And as it comes through, you're keeping this trade. So we'll just say you have a small account. You can buy two contracts, two options contracts. Now you could trade futures. You could trade regular options. I trade regular options, not futures options. But you can do the same strategy whether you're trading futures or standard options or even the standard stock market. This strategy works either way. But I'm going to say, for the sake of simplicity, we're going to talk about weekly options contracts. You buy two contracts here right at this level. You enter on this retest of this, what was resistance, now becomes support. You grab that, you grab two contracts because you have a small account. As it's coming up, you start to see it slow a little bit. It's coming up, it's selling off, but it kind of retests this level, continues up here, continues down. I would possibly consider maybe taking off this first contract. Now from 691, from 689 to 691, that's 2 points. That's $100. That's $200 on one contract. Just that alone. If you have a small account, we'll say less than $500. If you have $500 and all of a sudden you grew your account by $200 more, that's amazing just on that contract alone. So it's important to pay yourself, enter at key levels. And the other thing with growing a small account too is you really have to be accurate on your entries. If you did not enter here, you missed this opportunity, this test. You just need to admit fault, right? Do not chase with that small account. You have to be so accurate. So if you miss your opportunity, do not go in. The second thing too is admit if you're wrong, right? If you somehow thought this was this resistance level, you still thought it was resistance, and you decided to try and hit here, enter in your trade. Like entries are everything, and if you tried to enter it short here and it busted through, you need to admit fault and just get out of the trade. Cut your losses, because if you held onto that trade here and it continued, I mean, your account is blown. Entries are everything. So make sure you're being honest with yourself on those entries. So let's go back to here. We took our first contract off, and you want to let your winners ride for the day if you're trying to grow that small account, and you're really just watching for the rest of the day. And then you entered down here, so you could really just let it ride until it kind of breaks this 9 EMA point and really sells off here. And you could have gotten out here because you don't know if this is going to sell right off down, even further into the VWAP. And really just at this point, this bounce in the VWAP is great. So letting your winners ride. Now from here, way down here, where we entered this trade, 689, we'll say even if you exited down here, the 692, that's another 3 points, or even up here, 4 points. That's another $300 to $400. You more than doubled your account just on that trade alone. If you're growing, and this system applies whether you're trading a small account or a large account. But because you have less contracts you're able to execute in a small account, you have to be very accurate. Your entries have to be accurate. Your execution on out of those trades and letting your winners ride have to be more accurate. Let's take a look at the next day's trade, because this is another opportunity on kind of letting your winners ride and being patient. Another pre-market here. It busts through, but it reverses quickly. It comes up, and you could just be patient on the day. A nice opportunity to enter on this trade would have been this VWAP as it comes into the VWAP, and where, again, this was a resistance level. It became support. It got over the level here. It is now support. It bounces back into support, and you could have taken it here, risked off this candlestick, and let it ride. That's a nice, clean trade. Just being patient for the day. And that took a while, right? That didn't come into effect until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's being really patient with your entries, looking for those prime entries, key support and resistance, key price action. We have confluence here, right? We have a VWAP and we have a support level. What was resistance now becomes a support level. And just risking off and having that tight risk management. Again, if it came down here, if it blew through your support level, you're out of the trade, right? You were wrong. Admitting when you're wrong, cutting your losers quickly, letting your riders win. If you entered here, you're really not looking, you're probably taking profits at this point, at the high of day, at this reversal here, because you don't know if it's going to sell back off, come back down at a VWAP or further down. You should take your first contract off. Again, if you only have 2 contracts, you take that first contract off, see what it does, and it busts through the high of the day and continues on to that 9 EMA. And take it off that contract at the very end of the day. That's a clear, nice clean. That's almost 5 points there from here to there. 5 points, $500 on one contract. You could have had $100 here from here to here on that. So be patient, have clean entries. If you want to learn more, if you want to learn the full price action system, click on that link below. If you want these daily levels, I send my daily trade plan with my daily levels. If you're wanting to learn that, I send those every morning. You don't have to join a Discord or anything like that. You just get an email from me every single morning. And if you want to learn that, link is in the description below. I'll see you in the next video.